Hey. This past week, the UCI has announced some sweeping reforms regulating everything from helmets, bar width, maximum wheel depth. And I was thinking, when they announced 65 millimeter as the maximum wheel depth, I've never ridden 65s. So I've got these Elite Marvel 2 in 65 millimeter depth. We'll take them out here, wring their neck a little bit, and let you know, from a person who's used to riding moderately sized wheels, what it's like. I'll go over details and specs of the wheels in a sec. But like I said, these are the Elite Marvel 2, and I've got them set up on a set of 30 millimeter tires, and the test bike is the Basso Diamante. So this is Saturday morning's group ride, where I figured I would get a very good first impressions of what it's like to ride on 65 millimeter depth wheels. So what I decided to do was I rode to the ride solo at a pretty decent clip, where I warmed up at 16 to 18 miles an hour. Then I got it up to 20 to 21 on the way into the ride, which is a good rate for me for those 9 miles. Then, keeping in mind that I hadn't really been riding a lot for the past week, I decided to go with a slower group, which still rolls at 19 to 21, sometimes 22-ish, but I'm in a group environment. Then I rode home solo for the last 12 miles into a pretty stiff headwind. So all told, I got a total of 41 miles and I averaged 18 miles an hour. But most importantly, riding solo, then with the group, then solo again, would help me get a good impressions of the wheels. All right, let's take a quick look at the wheels specs, and then I'll get into my riding impressions. Unboxing videos are boring, so I'm not gonna do a regular unboxing video. I mean, you guys kind of like know what's in them. I wanna get down to where I'm weighing them and I'm confirming the measuring of them, but they came packed. Actually, I should show you this. Let me be a little bit responsible. They did come very well packed. So Elite actually is one of those companies. Elite does a really good job of packing their stuff up. So these wheels are called the Marvel. They're not their top of the line wheels like the Drive. I spoke to the rep and they said, you know, it's all new. This is actually the Marvel 2. Whoops, I didn't mean to pull that out, but we can see the innards of it. Ugh. And if you hear any background noise, it's okay. My wife is cooking. We have a normal house and we share space. It's okay. I got these with the SRAM XDR drive, and these are steel spokes. I'll read the details of them, but they're 60 millimeters. My wife hates this sound. But they're really like a nice looking wheel set. It comes with the wheel tape installed and the tubeless valve. Yeah, the tubeless valve installed. Has like that really nice carbon marbly semi-gloss finish. And they don't feel heavy. So I'm curious to know what the weight is on them. A little bit of a hop, we'll see. You know, one of the things that happens with these wheels, the last 3 wheel sets that I have been dealing with is like, when you get them out of the box right away, they may seem like they have a little bit of a hop or not the smoothest. And then you get out there and you get a couple rides on them and it just seems like the wheels kind of settle down and all of a sudden they're good to go. Other goodies in here. Swag bag. Another set of Elite socks and Elite decals, product manual, warranty, and then, yeah, see, the quality control report, person who checks wheel weight, lateral run out, radial run out, center alignment, spoke tension, all that kind of stuff. They put a little inspector, I don't know, all of them are inspector 01, but that's there. So let's weigh them up and I'll measure them, but you know, let's weigh them up. Front wheel is 739 grams. 739 for the front wheel. Woo! 857 for the rear wheel. $1,596. But keep in mind that that does include the valve core and the rim tape. Hey, if you'd like to take advantage during Elite's summer sale, which runs from June 18th to the 30th, my discount code has been increased to 20% off during the campaign. And my code also works for the Drive G45 and the Drive, which I've previously reviewed on the channel. The Marvel 2 comes in 3 depths, 36, 50, and 65 millimeters. They claim 1,580 grams, so my measured weight is on point because I had the valves installed. But it is a significant weight savings over the previous Marvel, which comes in at 1,770 grams in a 60 millimeter depth, which also featured a narrow profile of 18.5 internal and 28 external. They feature something Elite calls ETRTO. I don't know if they sound it out or spell it out, but it's supposed to offer the best of both worlds when it comes to hooked versus hookless wheels. Now, make no mistake, these are hooked, but the lip is minimized and reworked to further reduce weight. And also, they said to optimize the shaping of the wheels for maximum grip. It also features lightweight spokes from Alpina, an Italian brand. They are steel though, and they're straight pull. 23 millimeter internals and 31 millimeter external S&S ceramic bearings, but sadly using a 4-pawl system. I guess that's part of the reward of the budget, but you know, how much more expensive could it be to equip these with a ratchet system? Spoke pattern, we're going with 2 cross on the brake side, radially laced on the drive side. Rear is 2 cross on both sides, but it features 16 spokes on the drive side, 8 on the non-drive side. So a total of 21 spokes front, 24 spokes rear. These wheels are optimized for tires between the width of 28 and 40C, and yes, they are UCI approved. Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, ride impressions. Okay, my initial ride impressions are good. These are not a budget wheel. They're kind of a mid-tier wheel set, coming in at $869 and are very, very well made. Construction is solid with clearly high quality materials. There's a lot of thought that went into making this wheel. Out the box, there aren't any issues like dragginess, weird noises, or a feeling like the wheels are not settled. Well, not too bad. I did mention about the slight hop in my hands, but on the ride, you don't feel that. Push off was good. They didn't feel as sprightly as some lighter, shallower depth wheels, but it's not like the weight is bad for the depth. In fact, it's quite good, I would say. I also did not feel any overt harshness given the depth, except for on that section of road that I call the ratty road, where I did feel an increase in vibration coming through to me. That type of feedback, that was the only thing that I noticed that was like, wow, this is different. Keep in mind, I was in a very plush set of Vittoria Corsa Control 30 millimeters at 60-ish PSI. Straight line, riding stability, holding speed were all good. In this regard, I would say the quality feel punches way above its weight. You feel like you're in a more premium type of wheel. When I got out the saddle or powered up coming out of corners, they felt solid and responsive and transferred power well. Reaction to crosswind was good, not great. Every time a car whizzed past me, it's not like I felt like the wheel was being wrenched out of my hand, but I certainly felt like, okay, the wheel is doing what a deep section wheel would do, which is act like a sail a little bit. Now, I've been riding wheels with really thick carbon spokes, and I find that those are more susceptible to being skittish with crosswinds than these are. These are like the wind comes and it wants to kind of redirect the wheel, but they don't become skittish. You just feel the influence of the wind. But with the wheels that have the thicker spokes, when you get that crosswind, the wheels actually feel skittish. These didn't do that. They remained stable, albeit with that influence from the wind. But more on those deeper section carbon spokes in a later video. Amazing wheel set. How would I use these? If I were racing crits, these wheels would get a very strong consideration from me because in a lot of ways they remind me of the old Zip 404 Firecrest because of the robustness, the way how they roll, and the build of quality premium. They feel like a really, really bulletproof wheel set. And the neat thing is that despite coming in at $869, the construction feels really, really premium, and the performance feels really, really good. So I wouldn't hesitate to purchase these to use them for that purpose, and also for fast group rides. You could also use them the way how I did, which was I just used them like as a daily wheel set during a period of time that I was testing them, and I didn't feel or discover any deficiencies or issues with them. As far as the weight is concerned, at 1,569 grams for this wheel set with the build quality, keep in mind that a lot of the Western brands are coming in right around 1,520, 1,530 grams for their premium performance wheel sets. So these are right there in line with them. And like I said, with the price point, really can't be beat. But I'm curious to know how you feel about what the UCI has decided to do with the limitation of 65 millimeter depth. Let's not start talking about the handlebar width. You're going to steal my thunder. I'm saving that for a future video that's coming up real soon. But let me know if you think that they've gone a little bit too conservative, limiting the depth to 65, or if you're okay with that. Really love to hear what your thoughts are on that. All right, guys, I think we're going to leave it there. Thank you for continuing to support the channel by watching our videos, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And as always, our aim here is to inform, instruct, inspire. Be blessed.